Welcome back. We've got a really special guest in the house right now, the founder of QB Takeover, an executive producer on a brand new movie, and the star of the Quincy Avery Effect. My friend Quincy Avery is in the house. Quincy, thanks for being here.
Appreciate you having me on.
Listen, it's been a while since you and I have connected and talked, and a lot has changed for you since the last time I saw you, but man, have you just done so many incredible things with so many big name quarterbacks. But I want to start with this movie. What an awesome display of not only what a black quarterback has to go through, which I think was a huge part of your movie, but what you've had to go through in your life. What was the biggest takeaway that you want people to take from this movie?
I really hope when somebody gets done watching this movie, they understand the value of perseverance.
Yeah.
Going through difficult things, not taking the easy way out, and when you say you want to do something, being dedicated to doing everything you can to accomplish that, because you really don't know what's at the end of that. If you just work hard, a lot of good things tend to fall in your favor. Yeah,
and working hard is an understatement when it comes to you, Quincy. You are not able to take no for an answer. I commend you for that. It's incredible because it's on full display in this movie. You were homeless. You were living out of your car at one point when you moved here to Atlanta. But before that, you're living in the practice facility in the locker room at UCLA as a volunteer coach. Where did that not being able to take no come from for you?
I think I saw a lot of that in my mother.
Yeah.
So she displayed a lot of the values that I think I've taken on. But also, I've always just been very driven. I want to do something, I'm going to figure out a way to do it, whatever that looks like. And you see that throughout the movie. There's a number of instances where I've came across things that were very difficult to push through.
Yeah.
And it wasn't always the straight route. I would sometimes take a detour, go around the back entrance, but whatever it is, I was going to figure out a way to get where I needed to go.
Let's talk about driving the quarterback aspect of your career. You were a quarterback your whole life. You saw your dad play quarterback in the Big Ten, and then he went on to coach in the NFL, and then you always wanted to be a quarterback, which you were forever, all the way to Morehouse. You switched to wide receiver, but you're still in love with the position, so much so that it became your profession.
Yeah, it's all I ever knew.
Yeah.
And I think that we talk about the quarterback position like it's just a position, but it's really a way of life.
Yeah.
And I hope that at the end of this, people will be like, I want to live my life like a quarterback, because they're disciplined. They have a plan. They work their plan. They go through they're going to throw an interception. In life, we all throw an interception, but it's how do I bounce back, and what does the play after that critical error look like? So, yeah, I just hope that's the lessons I learned playing quarterback. And I didn't finish my career quarterback, but I learned so many lessons from the position.
You tapped into what was an untouched market here. What an unbelievable opportunity we have here in Atlanta, and how much quarterback talent there is. You saw an opportunity and you took it. Where did that start from?
I'm always someone who's been in business development.
Yeah.
And I was living in Los Angeles. I was working at UCLA, and I was looking across the country, and I'd watch so much tape and so much film, and I'd see all these quarterbacks from Atlanta who just were not as polished as I thought they could be. And I'm like, man, I'm moving there. I know these guys are talented. I know that I got some friends out there, and I know I can help out a lot of young men. And then it was just difficult because I got here and nobody wanted to train with me. Yeah. That was the hardest part.
Probably hard because no one knew who you were at that point, right?
They didn't know who I was, and this business wasn't what it is today.
Yeah.
Right? Quarterback training wasn't this thing that everybody thought they needed to do and had to do if they wanted to be successful. But I just was persevering and asking. And I was fortunate enough to get my first client, who was Josh Dobbs, and was kind of able to make it happen from there.
I was just about to say, Josh was the first guy that really responded to you. What was going through your head when you see, all right, we're in business. This guy just messaged me back. Let's go.
I wish I could say I felt that level of confidence.
Yeah.
You get a bit of imposter syndrome. If you've been working for something that long and you don't know if you're ready, you hope you're ready, you don't know if you're ready. And that was really where I was at. I really hope that I can do this thing. But it was the level of excitement just to see a message come through hey, I would like to train. I would like to try this. I was through the roof. And then to be able to be successful in helping him achieve his goals, and that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah.
I got a lot of guys at a lot of different places in their career, but helping every single one of those guys reach the goal that they have set, whether it's to be the starting quarterback on your middle school football team or to get drafted first round in the NFL.
it's not just about the NFL quarterbacks that you have trained, but I do want to go through a list of just some of the guys that were highlighted in the movie and throughout your career so far. Deshaun Watson, C.J. Stroud, Jordan Love, Justin Fields, Malik Willis, Josh Dobbs, and E.J. Colson, who's not yet in the NFL. He hopes to be one day, but we know him here from winning a state championship with Cedar Grove. Those names are insane. Quincy, you've got a Super Bowl champion in there and guys that have signed unbelievable contracts. What does it mean to you to see this list and say, I worked with these guys one-on-one?
Something I'm very proud of.
Yeah.
Not just because of the list of guys that we worked with, but like you said, it's so many other guys that many people haven't heard of. But we talk about like a lot of the football aspects, but I get to help these young men become men and help shape their lives. And quarterback is the most influential position in all of team sports. At the high school level, you're the coolest kid in school. You get to shape that high school and college. You're the big man on campus. And then in the NFL, like Mike Penix is like a leader in the city. If he knows it or not, right? We have that responsibility in helping shape those young men. Is something that's really cool to me.
A moment that was really cool for you was when your name was first mentioned nationally. Sunday Night Football.
Yep.
Let's go back to this moment. Deshaun Watson has one of the worst games of his career, right? Against the Panthers. He ends up calling you. You fly out there to Houston when he was with the Texans at the time. You guys are on the field after a game, very abnormal for a quarterback to go on the field after they have played a game. You guys are working out. That moment captured, and then it blows up.
Yeah.
What did you say to Deshaun to make him turn around and have a redemption game against the Falcons? That's really my question.
That moment was so crazy. It was funny because I used to fly into Houston every Sunday.
Yeah.
So I would train young quarterbacks in Atlanta, then Charlotte, then Houston every Sunday. So I'd be flying around to all these cities every day. And as my flight's landing, I get this text from Deshaun. I have to cancel the session, go right to the field, and it's just instilling confidence. Right, so we can see the things that we've made errors on, and it's how do we make those small corrections, but making sure that I'm breathing confidence in them, because you play the 60-minute game and you struggle, and that's tough to get your confidence back. But to know, like when you leave that football field, I feel better than when I came on this football field. I think that's what propelled him. It wasn't. There's only so many technical corrections you can make in 60 minutes after a full football game.
Yeah. Right,
but you can leave there fully confident that you have the tools and skills to be successful the next time the moment hits.
I mean, you connected with him in a way that he goes for a career high 426 yards and 5 touchdowns. It was crazy, and against the Falcons.
Right.
Nonetheless, I'm sure they don't appreciate that very much. One thing I appreciate so much about you, and I know that the guys do as well, is that your ability to connect with them on a human level, I think is what sets you apart from other quarterback coaches. Why is that piece of it important?
Because they know that I care.
Yeah.
And I think if people get an opportunity to watch the documentary, they'll see some of the things that I went through in my personal life, which has created a situation where I really want to be there for guys, right? Because there's been situations where I needed somebody there for me and I felt abandoned, or they weren't there, or there wasn't anybody I could call or lean on, and I've taken that to heart. And I know that I don't ever want to put somebody in the situations that I was in, so I do everything that I can in order to make sure the guys know that I care about them and I love them first. Right, and after they know that, then I think it's a lot easier to make corrections on the football field or hold them accountable for things off the field. It just changes the dynamic when somebody in their heart of heart knows that you care about them.
On a deeper note, your mission behind a lot of this is to shine a light on black quarterbacks and some of the adversities and challenges that they face along the way in trying to make it to the NFL, college, whatever their goals may be. It is challenging for a black quarterback to make it to a specific level, yet we're seeing a new era of this quarterback. Why do you think it's been a challenge in the past?
I think that it's really difficult when the decision makers are not, it's not like, I wouldn't call it like out and out racism, but there's just bias that you have, because when you're a leader of something, then you relate the most to somebody who looks like you or shares the same culture or the same thoughts and things like that. So when you're in a quarterback room, the quarterback coach is white, the offensive coordinator is white, the head coach is white, they have a lot of commonalities with guys who didn't necessarily look like that. And then the high school coaches will see that, well, all the NFL quarterbacks look like this, then my quarterback should probably look like this. And it just trickled down. Yeah. And I think that we've just been given more opportunities to be in these positions, to be successful. And then someone like Michael Vick, who was so near and dear to Atlanta, but he was the first black quarterback who I thought got to play the game exactly how he wanted to play. He ran around, he was electric. You got to see how mobile and athletic he was, and I think that everybody saw how dynamic that made them, and it just has opened the doors for so many quarterbacks since his time with the Falcons.
There's a large conversation happening right now about what happened to Shedeur Sanders. There's a lot of speculation because of how far he fell. Just curious your opinion on what you think happened.
I think that it was a combination of things.
Okay.
I think that prior to the draft, there's a lot of people who have opinions about quarterbacks who don't know a ton about the position. So they probably overvalued where they thought he should go.
Sure.
Like the Mel Kipers and all those guys, they don't really understand the quarterback position. They might hear things or see stats and they say, oh, he's a first rounder. I originally thought 4th, 5th round, and like I said that publicly, like I think he's a 4th, 5th round talent. But I think that he slid further just because of all the other things that you have to deal with in terms of when he's your quarterback. And I'm not saying his personality, but more like dealing with his dad and the media and all those different things that cause extra attention. When you're not the starting quarterback of a football team, the last thing we want you to do is to bring any attention here, any cameras, any extra questions. So just made it difficult. It was an avalanche and a culmination of a lot of things that caused him to kind of slide down in the draft.
I want to go back to one of your quarterbacks that you've worked with and kind of end on this note. Justin Fields is a guy that we love around here. I was actually outside of his house on the night that he got drafted, and him and I chatted after he got picked up by Chicago. Aaron Glenn, the new head coach of the Jets, has had high praise for Justin. You probably identify him with him in a way that a lot of people can't, because he's worked through a lot of adversity to get to where he is. So have you. What do you think about Justin and his career so far and where he can go?
I'm so proud of Justin.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of just the way that he's handled everything and every step of the way. When things are going good, he's really happy and he's bringing everybody else with him. And then when things haven't gone the best or as good as they could have, he takes a lot of accountability and always is thinking about how he can fix things, how he can correct things to make things bend or break his way. And I think that he has a unique opportunity with the New York Jets this year. And I think that we're going to see something special. And I think that the way that people look at him as a quarterback is going to completely change this year, and he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. And we're all going to be like, dang, I wish the Falcons had Justin Fields.
Yeah, because that was an opportunity at one point, and people were thinking it could potentially happen. Let's just wrap on, we talked about you have so many big names. I reeled off that whole list. But beyond that, you have helped over 100 kids get college scholarships. How fulfilling is that for you?
I mean, to help people live out their dreams is the biggest deal to me, because I know that so oftentimes, like, that's all people wanted. Like, I just want to be this high school quarterback, and I just want a college scholarship. So I feel like I'm changing lives every single day, and that's truly fulfilling, and it makes me happy, like, to my core, like, happy.
You can tell. Quincy, I appreciate you. QB Takeover, if you want to check him out. Also, the Quincy Avery Effect streaming on Hulu right now. Always appreciate your time, my friend, and good luck with everything in the future.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys, we'll be right back.